There was sort of a leak from Naughty Dog, which, sort of like one of the developers there, or a games tester or something, leaked out like a bunch of footage from the game, a good like 6 hours of it or something. Like there was a lot of it, and the main complaint from that developer was like, yeah, it's really not that different from the original. Like they really haven't done that much. It's very much a cash grab. And
the visuals are just improved.
Yeah, so the visuals are improved, but the gameplay itself and the sort of discussion which we've had in the past and what we spoke about last week as well was that it's very much just the vast majority of work that goes into a game is figuring out the game design, the level design, and the combat arenas and the balancing and things like that, and the story and the performances and all that sort of stuff. But all of those
playtesting, all
of those problems are pretty much already solved. So the fact that they were charging $70 for this, that's the part that sort of falls short to me. So no matter, like I completely respect that they've done all this work on the visual side of stuff, but it just does not warrant the full price tag, and that was ultimately what we were sort of getting around to. I think we saw
it cost more money than the original game back in the day,
right,
which at the time was the pinnacle of technology.
And the sequel, it cost them half the money to make it, and they did it in half the time. It should be half the price, but it's not. They're cashing in. So yeah, it is what it is. But like I'm sure I'm going to play it when it comes onto a sale at some point. But I will absolutely not be playing it I will not be paying full price for it. That's for sure. But
yeah, I'll wait for it to go on sale. Yeah, because we said even Neil Druckmann says that they had the models from The Last of Us 2, so they could do, and they had the flashback models from when they were Last of Us 1 years old, so Ellie was younger. So yeah, they just used those models, right? So they'd already spent that money in The Last of Us 2 budget to do The Last of Us 1.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's a funny old business. I mean, because like soon after that as well, and the main crutch of the story was that after the leak, the guys over at Sony decided to release a video which was clearly meant for a later date, sort of highlighting all of the differences that are in the remake, and they sort of shot themselves in the foot with that because it really wasn't that much different. Like they really didn't they didn't prove that point. Basically, it was kind of it made matters even worse in my opinion. But who the hell am I to say anything, because it's still going to sell like gangbusters. The fans are still going to go out and pay hand over fist for this. There's a special edition which is $100. People will be paying for it. So like it doesn't really matter what I say at this point. It's just it is what it is, and the market has spoken, or will speak, I should say.
Yeah, and we're just, I guess, haters gonna hate, but I guess it's more about. It just seems like that there'll be money. They'll be making a lot of money, and the profits will be larger for this game than it would have been for the last two games.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Is that capitalism? Is that ripping off fans?
There's definitely a line of, because I'm all for the markets doing what the market's going to do and stuff, but there's a point where it's like it just feels gross. Like they're free to like charge whatever they want. Like I'm not saying they should not be allowed to charge this much. I'm not saying that whatsoever. Like people should be allowed to charge whatever the hell they feel that they want to charge for it, but at the same time it just feels gross. Like there's definitely a line where it turns from to like, yeah, that's fair market to this is just gross capitalism at this point. But it's who knows. Like we'll see how the sales do. If it sells really well, then it won't change my opinion either way. But it's still going to be, it'll sort of validate my sort of theory that gamers complain a lot about this sort of stuff, but they don't actually do much about it, unfortunately.
No, they still buy it. Yeah, they don't vote with their feet.
They
do they?
never vote with their wallets, and it's one of the main issues that we got in the games industry. We'll always have it until that day. Like we're going to continue to have these problems, and this is why we get remakes that cost $70 because people don't vote with their wallets. That's literally it's cause and effect. So you can only blame just yourselves, gamers. It's all your fault. That's all I'm saying.